Daf Yomi Tractate Bava Batra, page 83a, top of the page with the word Bedura, de Ravasa, also the comment of Yehuda, Amarle, Zilhavle, Kimla Bakar Bechelav, Velo Have Yadana Kimalo Bakar Bechelav, Kama, Kevin the Shmaite Laha Ditznan, Loyita Adam. Elon Samuch Lisadeh Chavero Ela Imkain Hirchik Mimenu Arba Amos, involving the sale of trees in a village of shepherds. And they came before Yehuda, and he said to the seller, "Go and give to the one who bought the tree sufficient land for an ox and its vessels." But I did not know how much was sufficient land for an ox and its vessels. What I heard, that which we learned in the Mishnah in 26a, I came to a conclusion with regard to this case. The Mishnah teaches as follows: a person may not plant a tree close by the field of another unless he places it a distance of 4 cubits from the other field. V'tani alei arba amos shamru kedei avodas hakerem amena shmamina Kimelo Bakar Bechelav Arba Amos. Rav Yosef continues, and it is taught in a Batra with regard to this Mishnah, the 4 cubits that the sages stated are for the work of the vineyard, so that he does not take oxen and a plow into his neighbor's field while tending to his vineyard. I studied this Mishnah and Batra and said, learn from it that the phrase sufficient for the ox and its vessel means 4 cubits. At this stage, the Gemara has demonstrated that Rav Nachman's opinion is supported by a Mishnah, whereas Rav Yosef's ruling is supported by the incident involving Rav Yehuda. Rav Yosef mi lo tanan, Rav Meir Rav Shimon Amrim, Hanote es karmo shmona amos al shmona mutar lahavi zera l'sham. The Gemara asks, but didn't we also learn a ruling in the Mishnah in Klaim 4:9, in accordance with the opinion of Yosef? That Mishnah teaches, Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Shimon say, in a case of one who plants his vineyard 8 cubits by 8 cubits, meaning he leaves 8 cubits between each row of vines, it is permitted for him to bring seeds to the empty spaces between the rows. This ruling can be cited in support of the opinion of Yosef, that if there is a space of 8 cubits between trees or vines, they are not considered one unit. Why then is this Mishnah not brought as proof? Afilohachi ma'aseh adif. The Gemara answers, even so, it is preferable to cite the incident in Solomon as proof. Whenever possible, it is preferable to provide support for an opinion by means of a practical ruling as it demonstrates that the sages took action in accordance with that opinion and did not merely teach it as halacha in theory. Bishlomer of Yosef Ali B'Rav Shimon Shaminin le Befuzarin, Shaminin le Tetzufin. Befuzarin, Hodamra Tetzufin, Tetzran, Kerem al Tuya al Pachos, Miarba Amos Yirakarim. Div Rabbi Shimon, Bachamim Oimrim, Keren, Veroyen Esa At Samim, Em Saim, Ki Ilu Einan. The Gemara comments, granted, according to the analysis of Rabbi Yosef, stated in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, we hear about the maximum distance that the trees can be scattered, and we hear about the minimum distance that they can be planted close together. The distance that the trees can be scattered is that which we stated, 8 cubits. The minimum distance that they can be planted close together, as we learned in the Mishnah in Klaim 5:2, a vineyard that is planted in consecutive rows with less than 4 cubits between the rows is not classified as a vineyard because the rows are planted too close together. This is the statement of Rabbi Shimon. And the rabbis say it is considered a vineyard, and one views the middle vines as if they are not there, as they are slated to be uprooted. Ella Reb Nachman, Aliba Derabanan, Mifuzarin, Shamin and Lay, Ritzufin, Mishamin and Lay, Savarlahu, Svarahu. Mid de Rabbi Shimon Palga, Rabbanan Nami Palga. Okay, but according to the analysis of Rabbi Nachman, stated in accordance with the opinion of the rabbis, we hear the maximum distance that the trees can be scattered, 16 cubits, as in the incident in Salmon, concerning the minimum distance that they can be planted close together. Did we hear this distance? The Gemara answers, this is based on logical reasoning from the fact that, according to Rabbi Shimon, the minimum distance is half the maximum distance. According to the rabbis, the minimum distance is half the maximum, would be 8 cubits. Amara v'hilchasa me'arba amos v'ad sheishes rei. Tani kos de Rav v'kama iu b'korvin. Arba amos v'kama iu b'korvin sheishes rei. Rava says that the halacha is that one who buys 3 trees acquires the land if the distance between the trees is anywhere from 4 cubits to 16 cubits. This ruling is a combination of the two opinions, which is favorable to the buyer. It is taught in a Batra in accordance with the opinion of Rava. How close may they be? 4 cubits. And how far apart may they be? 16 cubits. Harezeh kadakarka v'es ahilanos shebehem lefichach. Yehoshua ilan on nikas yesh lo karka pachos bikan o yoser al kan o shilakachan b'zev achar zeh harezeh lo kana lo esa karka lo esa ilanos shebehem. Yehoshua ilan on nikat niksats o lo ein lo karka. If one brought 3 trees planted in this manner, this one has acquired the land and the small trees and that are between them. Therefore, if the tree dried up or was cut down, he has ownership of the land. If the distance between trees was less than this or more than this, or if he bought the trees one after the other, this buyer has not acquired either the land or the trees that are between them. Therefore, if the tree dried up or was cut down, he has no ownership of the land. Boy, Rav Yirmiyah asked a question. He asked a question. Rabbi Yirmiyah asked a question. Rabbi Yirmiyah kishu moded. Mimkom katzel hu moded. O makom rachav hu moded. Amr le Rav Gavia. Rav Gavia. Ibei katil. Ravashi Shma Mina Zitan Archuva Shevagefen Ein Model Elam Ikar Sheni. Rabbi Yirmiyah raises his dilemma. When one measures the distance between the trees, does he measure from the narrow place of the tree trunk, or does he measure from the wide place? Rav Gavia of Beit Katil said to Rashi, "Come and hear a proof." As we learned from Mishnah in Climb 7:1, when one comes to measure from the layered branch of the vine, he measures only from the second root, as this is the average, not the widest part of the vine. But raises a dilemma. If the owner of the field sold to someone 3 branches that grew from one tree, and its trunk was covered with earth, so that the branches appeared to be 3 separate trees, what is the halacha? Are they considered 3 trees? Which would mean that the owner acquires the ground beneath them. Rav Gavia Mibekatil Rashi Tashuma Tam Hamrech Shlosh Kafanim Fikar Nirin or Lazar Roisada Gomer Im Yesh Pinehim Arba Amos Ve'ad Shmonim Mitzarfin Lav Mitzarfin or Gavia of Bekatil says Rav Ashi, come and hear proof, as we learned in a Mishnah in Climb 7:2, with regard to one who layers the branches of 3 vines into the ground so that they take root while still attached to the base of the vine, and their roots that rise above the ground are visible. Rabbi Elazar, son of Ritzadok, says if there is a distance between them of 4 cubits to 8 cubits, they combine to to form one vineyard composed of 6 grapevines. And if not, they do not combine. It can be inferred from this mission that the different branches of a tree are considered separate entities when the trunk is covered by earth, provided the required distance between them is maintained. Rav Papa asked, Machar lo shnayim betoch sedehu v'yachad al ametzer mahu shnayim betoch shelo yachad betoch shelo chaveru mai teku. This is a question. This might be the 160th, 161st, 167nd teku. Lost count already. Rav Papa raises a dilemma if the owner of a field is sold to someone 2 trees in his field, and one situated on his border. What is the halacha? Similarly, if one bought 2 trees in the field of one person and one in the field of another, what is the halacha? Do the trees combine to form one unit of trees or not? The Gemara states that this dilemma shall stand unresolved. Teiku.